No editing, no nothing. We are jumping into this raw. Today we got some new news for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet DLC, the Teal Mask and the Indigo Disc. Part 1, the Teal Mask, will be released September 13th. So next month, get ready for a new metagame and plenty of new Pokemon coming back. So Dipplin is the new evolution we have of Applin. It is still a grass dragon, just like Appleton and Flapple, and it has a new ability, Super Sweet Syrup. Let's get into what that ability does first, and then we'll go to the rest. But Dipplin's Super Sweet Syrup ability appears for the first time in Part 1. When Dipplin first enters battle, the scent of its syrup spreads across the battlefield, lowering the evasiveness of opposing Pokemon. So it lowers their evasiveness, basically making it so moves that sometimes can miss, won't. Like a move like Draco Meteor, for instance, won't miss because your opponent's evasion is lower. This seems pretty cool for a doubles metagame. I think it's pretty cool for singles as well if you're using a more offensive Dipplin. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Leave a like and sub if you're new to the channel as well. On my way to 400K. And I just want to know your thoughts in general. So, it has a new move called Syrup Bomb. It's a grass type special move that causes an explosion of syrup. This is obviously, you know, they all have their signature grass move. You have Apple Acid for Appleton, and you have Grav Apple for Flapple. This move coats the target in syrup and causes its speed stat to lower each turn for 3 turns. Again, a really cool support move. I could see it pair with Protect, obviously. Maybe the first turn they're not fast, you're not faster than them, but the second turn you could be, because you are consistently lowering their speed for 3 turns, forcing switches. This could be very annoying on a Pokemon that has both grass and dragon offensive stab, because you combine that with the ability to terastallize into like maybe a fire or fighting type to hit steel types, and also obviously to resist ice if you become a fire type, and hit them with great coverage. So I'm actually really excited about the evolution of this other evolution of Applin as well. So it says this newly discovered evolution of Applin is distinct from Flapple and Appleton. The head sticks out, seeming to belong to one of its 2 separate creatures. Obviously the head is of Flapple. It looks like it. Actually, whatever. They have very similar heads, right? This is what Appleton looks like when it actually flaps up its eyes. So maybe I'm wrong about that. Whatever. I might be confusing the two at the top of my head, but both creatures help each other out, and they coat their apples with syrup produced within their bodies. Layers of fragrant syrup to give opponents. Okay, so this is basically a candy apple. Obviously, it says candy apple Pokemon, but I think this is a really cool mon that we have, but not the coolest. Not the coolest. So the other evolution of Duraludon, Archaludon, is coming in the Indigo Disc. Now, this is huge. First off, Duraludon evolved, and let me show you Duraludon stats. Like we're on Pokemon Showdown right now. For those that don't know the website, you can battle on this site and make teams just to like train. But look at Duraludon stats. Like they are not bad whatsoever. Now Duraludon does have kind of whack abilities, right? Stalwart. This Pokemon cannot be redirected to a different. That's very good for doubles, but if you're playing singles, that's a useless ability, right? Whereas it is heavy metal and light metal. Light metal is pretty cool because it means that low kick will do less to you, but really good stats, right? Base 120 special attack, base 115 defense. Its special defense was really the thing like that wasn't working for it, and its HP was pretty low, but good speed as well. But however, it's getting an evolution, which is still Steel and Dragon, and that evolution is Stamina and Sturdy. So now it's an even better lead because the Sturdy cannot be KO'd in one hit. I'm assuming it'll have better special defense. That's not confirmed though, right? It could stay exactly the same. We have plenty of evolutions and mons with like similar stats no matter like the evolution, right? Like so, just to give you an example, we have Quillfish, and then we have Overquote, and at least when it comes to the actual like speed, stayed exactly the same. So like it could stay the same, it could even be lowered, but obviously everything else changed. There's a few other examples as well of mons that stay the same, like I believe it was Duosion, which is 125 special attack, and Reuniclus, which also has 125 special attack. So there's definitely examples of mons staying the same in terms of stats. So this could be the same special defense. Don't get your hopes up on that. I would say more HP. It's a bridge, by the way. But stamina is pretty big because Steel Dragon, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful typing. Plenty of resists, neutral to fairy, and just every single time you're hit, your defense is raised. And I can't see this thing having that much. If it does have lower, it wouldn't be that much lower, right? Like even base 100 with stamina is beautiful. And we obviously have stamina on Mudsdale, and we know that's on the physical side how hard that thing could be to take down in most cases. This is why you usually deal with it special moves, right? But a 115 mon minimum, getting a defense raise every single time is pretty nasty. I think that's going to be great. But it does have a new move called Electro Shot. With his Electro-type special move, Archaludon gathers vast quantities of energy and fires off a high-voltage bolt of electricity. Under rainy weather conditions, Archaludon can immediately fire off this attack without having to spend time charging it up. Now, this sounds like Solar Beam, right? Because it's a charge move that under rain you move for it gets the move immediately, right? Whereas Solar Beam is the same thing under Sun. However, it's like Meteor Beam too, because you can see right here in this image, Archaludon's special attack rose. So this combined with Power Herb gives Duraludon a way of boosting its special attack, which is something that not even Dialga has, the other Steel Dragon, of course, and Duraludon doesn't have as well, besides Charge Beam, right? Charge Beam would be the other one, but Charge Beam is a very weak move. This is like a glorified Supercharge Beam, but also like under rain, you don't have to worry about the charge turn, so it would probably charge up and then immediately attack. I could see this being a staple on rain teams, right? It's a great grass resist for rain teams. It's a great electric resist for rain teams, so I could definitely see this thing being a staple. It may be slow because it's a bridge. Who knows though? Duraludon's a building and it has base 85 speed. That does not mean it has to be slow just because it's a bridge. But I'm hyped for this. Outside of rain, obviously you can use it with Power Herb to get your special attack boost and get it immediately, right? Similar to how we saw Nihilego with Meteor Beam in previous generations, or really any rock type that had access to it to raise its special attack and just be very scary. Of course, that mon also had Beast Boost, which makes a difference as well. But really nice. I did not expect this Pokemon to get a straight up evolution. It also says Alan can gather static electricity more easily during storms, and usually allowing to fire off being faster than usual. Yep, we already know about that. I'm hype. I'm hype about the evolution. The design is gonna have to grow on me, kind of like Duraludon did. Duraludon's design wasn't like, I didn't like it as much until I used it myself in game. So I'm sure like that's how it's gonna be for me. And then we have two new Paradox Pokemon, a Paradox Raikou and a Paradox Cobalion, which, dude, the freaking dinosaur right here. So in terms of predictions, right, we have Iron Crown and Raging Bolt. Yeah, we knew these names are gonna be like that. I like Raging Bolt a lot as well. I like it better than Walking Wake, and I freaking love Suicune, but I like Raging Bolt. So if I had to guess on typings, let's guess the Iron Crown first. If it's going to be the same thing as Iron Leaves, which was Grass plus Psychic, I'm assuming this looks kind of similar to Steel Electric. I could be absolutely wrong about that, but it kind of gives like Steel Electric vibes. Look at that hair. Look at this hair. This mane. Looks great on both of them. So I think Cobalion gives Steel Electric vibes. We don't have any more info on them, so we are going to have to guess typing. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think Steel Electric makes sense? I could see Steel Flying as well, but I feel like Steel Electric makes a lot of sense for this mon. And obviously the other one's Iron was Grass and Psychic. And this also gives me hope for an Entei. As not Entei, a Terrakion. Entei's for the other one. But Terrakion as well, coming back with its, rock plus whatever typing. And then we have Raging Bolt, which looks like a straight up dragon, right? I'm assuming it's just going to be Electric Dragon. I'm honestly just going to assume they're all dragons, right? Because Walking Wake is dragon. I'm going to assume this one is dragon. It looks like it's a straight up dinosaur. It's a straight up dinosaur. I love the way it looks in game as well. I actually like this kind of pose as well, that it's all around it. Gives me like very Greninja vibes, but just the way it has his tongue wrapped around it. But yeah, I'm excited about this. Raikou does look a little bit slower, whereas Cobalion kind of looks faster in this sense, even though it still looks like very fast. But what are your thoughts? Electric Dragon obviously really good. I'm assuming it'd have a signature special move as well, whereas Cobalion would have a signature physical move as well, something similar to Leaves. And most likely Iron Crown's move is going to be like 80 base power, just like Psyblade, and then turns into 120 base power into Rain. Could be wrong about that, but what are your thoughts? Do you think Steel Electric? That'd be crazy with that, with a Stab move, because also you already have Stab of your Electric type attack, so I think that's pretty nasty. But let me know your thoughts on those. And then we saw the Tera'd version of Ogerpon, and they said it looks different to other Terra Pokemon, exactly what sort of power this legendary Pokemon has. I don't see a balloon over its head. I could have been wrong. I was actually trying to see if I rewatched the trailer and saw it, but I couldn't see it. So obviously its mask is bigger. It's a huge mask, and it's got its feet got smaller before, but we'll see. Probably has to do with the lore behind it. And same thing with Terapagos. So this Terapagos that we saw is just its normal form, and that's its Terra form. We thought We speculated that maybe it evolved from this thing, but it looks like it's just the actual form of Terapagos right here. It does give very, very, very Shuckle vibes. And this is just its complete Terra form. It's capable of taking on multiple distinct appearances. Maybe that has something to do with the back of its shell, how it has all the typings on it. Who knows? Honestly, who knows? Just let me know your thoughts. All this is speculation, and let's keep going. So we got some new ways to play in the land. They have Ogre Ousting, which is like, you know, you're going through them with your Mon. But I think the biggest thing is that you get berries from this, right? You pop Ogre Balloons, you get berries, and by bringing these berries, you receive Mochi that can be used to increase the base points of your Pokemon stats, or even Fresh Start Mochi, which can be reset the base points of your Pokemon stats. Basically, a nice way to reset your EVs, which I think is obviously awesome, right? It's better than just straight up berries. I think it just straight up reset. It says which can reset the base points of your Pokemon stats. Just a straight up reset of the actual stat instead of just using the berries one by one, etc. So I think that's a pretty big plus for those that actually play VGC and things like that. So there was rumors of a PK Hex or Pokegen, which is a way that people can use to make Pokemon type functions coming with the DLC. I don't know if this is referring to that. Maybe there'll be even more coming with the Indigo Disc, but obviously that's a big plus just for people in general. Play a game and get the Fresh Start Mochi and just reset your EV completely. That's amazing. That's amazing. And yep, we also have the Roto Stick, so you can take different pictures as well, direct your Pokemon, and then share photos online. Why the hell not? And of course, we have a little bit more from the story where you'll actually be able to explore and probably do little side quests to help you unlock the mysteries as well. And then we have mass outbreak events. So obviously we know what mass outbreaks are. It just means it's Pokemon of the same species, they're appearing in massive quantities. However, there'll be timed mass outbreak events. During these events, certain Pokemon will become more likely to appear in mass outbreaks. And the first mass outbreak is competitive singles, most annoying Pokemon of all time, probably second up there to Toxapex and maybe Guard from this generation. And that is Clefairy, aka Baby Clefable. Clef is such a monster in competitive Pokemon. If you play VGC, you obviously might be thinking Clefairy is better, and obviously for you guys it is because of Friend Guard, and I mean that's big for VGC as well. But for singles, Clefable is absolutely insane with Magic Guard and being able to Calm Mind up and Soft Boiled. I don't know if we'll still have Recovery. It may still, it'll probably still learn Moonlight, which is severely weak in this generation, being 8 PP versus 16. It makes a huge difference. Actually, I'm just straight up wrong. If I'm not mistaken, the Moonlight's always been APP, right? So that's wrong. Moonlight's always been APP. So yeah, that doesn't make too much of a difference for Clef. It can still learn Wish though. Not having Soft Boiled rather, which would be 16 PV, but now getting nerfed to 8 was what I was thinking in my head. But yeah, Moonlight's always been 8. So Moonlight may be the recovery move that Clefable ends up having if it doesn't still have access to Soft Boiled. Doesn't matter too much in that because they still do 50%, but obviously in Sand, which isn't that common at the moment, maybe Extra comes back, it will be. It will be lowered as well, lower recovery, but obviously more as well in the Sun, and obviously Rain weakens it too. But Clefable may still have access to Wish, which still has 16 PP for whatever reason. They nerfed healing moves, but they didn't end up nerfing Wish. So Wish plus Protect, Unaware, or Magic Guard sets can definitely still be good with Calm Mind. Terra is going to make it even harder to beat as well, right? We'll go over King Gambit when I Terra Fire my Clefable and knock you out with Flamethrower. Or even fighting Terra Blast or Focus Blast if I want to miss. But Terra Blast for Mons like Heatran and King Gambit. So Clef obviously is back. I don't know if it will be the same powerhouse as it was before, but a Pokemon that can be Fizz Def, that naturally resists close combats from Great Tusk is, a Mon that has potential as well. Occasionally you may catch or receive a Pokemon with a Mark. Mark's a different outcome. Marks don't matter as much to me, how to view and assign marks. I mean, it's pretty interesting. I think that they're going to have time events like this. So this is kind of like, you will have to download and install the latest update. While purchasing this is not required to participate in massive outbreaks. I just think it's pretty interesting, right? Because it gives you a little bit more than just waiting for the Terra raids, but actually gives you ways of getting maybe somewhat rare Pokemon, depending on it. And I mean, they know what they're doing with Clefairy, right? Clefairy is a very, very, very good doubles Pokemon. So they knew what they were doing with this first one for sure. So in the second DLC, the Indigo Disc, which is coming in winter, trainers participate in the BB League, including the Elite Four, get together and train through Pokemon battles. You can also visit the club room to meet up with people. The club room, we use a computer to lend a hand to other clubs that need funding for their activities. If you donate Blueberry Points, BP, currency used within the academy, you will receive thank you gifts from the clubs you donate to. For example, if you donate BP to the Blueberry Academy Art Club, you'll be able to redecorate the league club room. So just some fun stuff for you going forward. And then special guests during your time, you'll be able to invite familiar faces from the Paleo region to visit. When you invite a trainer over, you can talk to them and take photos together. If you defeat one of these trainers in battle, you'll be able to trade Pokemon with them, and you might just see a side of them you haven't seen before. Interesting. So you'll be able to, when you invite trainers over, you'll talk to them and take photos. If you defeat one of them, you'll be able to trade Pokemon with them. So maybe you can get their signature mons, which I think is a pretty unique thing, or maybe this is somewhat similar. I don't want to see Battle Factory, right? Because that didn't sound necessarily like Battle Factory at all. But I just remember being able to rent Pokemon and stuff like that. But this is a straight up trade, so you'll maybe be able to get there, and then maybe we'll say like this is this person's like this is this person's Carbonable, or if it was Brock, right? Let's say Brock was in the game. This is Brock's Onix, and maybe it has like a specific thing on it, and that's it. But we also have the Elite Four. Wow, the Elite Four. Excuse me. So they do have the Blueberry League, aka the BB League, where students battle each other and climb the ranks based on their skills. School's top four, and this is again in the Part 2 DLC. Top four are best known as the BB League Elite Four, and they looked up to by the entire student body. You receive an invitation to join the Blueberry League from Drayden, a member of the BB League Elite Four. You'll be able to take on the BB League in the terrarium. So trials, preludes to the BB League Elite Four battles. We've seen trials before. We know what we gotta do before gyms. To battle one of the BB League Elite Four, you must first pass their Elite Trial. Each trial is different. Aim to defeat the BB League Elite Four and become the best trainer. So the first one's flying. In order to tackle the Elite Four set by Amaris, set your Amaris, right? Amaris, I don't know. Your legendary Pokemon Koraidon and Miraidon can take a supplement that will grant it the power to fly. Damn, Rebel. It seems this power is only temporary, but perhaps someday this hidden power will be fully mastered. Ooh. Okay, cool. So you do a little stuff, and then you battle the members of the Elite Four. So something very, very fun. Obviously, I like new little events. The Elite Four. I don't know how I feel about trials too much, but I mean, if they're fun enough, like things like this are always cool. I would like it to be a little bit more difficult than it is fun, but Pokemon's always like what you make it at the end of the day, right? If you want it to be more difficult, you limit yourself. And then today as well, if you didn't know, you can get Mew and Mewtwo. Those are in a raid. We did have Mew and Mewtwo are already available in the game itself, but a special event has begun, allow you to add Mew to your team, challenge Mewtwo with the Mightiest Mark. During this event, you'll be able to use the mystery gift feature to receive the mystical Pokemon Mew, which cannot be encountered via normal gameplay. With your very own Mew and some powerful allies by your side, you'll be able to already take on Mewtwo with the Mightiest Mark and Tera'd battles. Keep an eye out for other activities featuring Mew and Mewtwo. So there may be more to the story when it comes to that. Obviously, again, if you had Pokemon Home, you were already able to get these Pokemon there, but still cool nonetheless. And lastly, I want to say that today it's available with the Nintendo Switch Online. The Pokemon Trading Card game for the Game Boy and the Pokemon Stadium 2, they're added. So right after it's literally available right now. So if you want to play them, I want to do mini games with my friends. So I'll definitely be doing mini games with my friends sometime on a stream. But the fact that I don't think you can trade your Pokemon back and forth with Pokemon Stadium 2, which was like the whole point, right? You want to be able to bring in your Pokemon to be able to battle. So I'm kind of sad about that. But let me know your thoughts on everything down below. I'm very, very excited for the new Mons, of course. The evolution of Duraludon, we do have to wait for. But yeah, the hitting area is 0 for Scarlet and Violet, and the hitting area is 0 for the Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. So we already know these are the opposite ones. But either way, I'm excited. Let me know your thoughts down below. Leave a like. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. On my way to 400K, I can get there. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.